So grab your gear and prepare for combat, troops. This is the big one. Here we've got F.I.S.T for Invincible toys and some on-site footage. Many thanks to Compulsive Collector Jon, who provided me with on-site footage at JoeFest. That's what we're talking about. JoeFest in particular. Here's the Robo Skull. So welcome back to Tac Tac Toys. Yep. And in this video we're talking JoeFest. So let's get on into it. And again, many thanks to Compulsive Collector Jon for providing me with footage. You can, of course, check out my video Flicks and Figs, episode 25. We've got Andrew Scott from Higher Toys, Universal Soldier here, looking really good. A third-party Grim Knight. So yeah, if you like Batman, and you know, there's the McFarlane one, that's an alternative. This guy, he's ready for my JoeFest video, so don't want to keep him waiting. And of course, the Super 7 Ultimates, yeah, Turtles from 2003. So you can check those out. So yeah, plenty to check out on my latest episode of Flicks and Figs. But as I say, we're talking JoeFest in this video. Now, what is JoeFest? Well, it's a toy convention around GI Joe. There's sort of 3.75-inch figures, but there's also 6-inch figures there, and there's actually a growing presence of 6-inch figures. Valaverse has done it in the past. Ramen Toys have done it this year. We've had a few other sort of lines, like as you saw at the beginning of the video, F.I.S.T from Invincible Toys, and the Ramen Razor, that was on site there. This is a post-apocalyptic version of the Ramen Racer. So this video is not for kids. And let's talk JoeFest 2024, yeah. So it's based in Atlanta. Yeah, so that's obviously some pictures of it there. It's a GI Joe centric kind of convention, or you know, based around GI Joe. These are from Mauraders 6-inch figures. They're coming with the Robo Skull as a Kickstarter, so we'll see more of them. And this is F.I.S.T, yeah, which is kind of like Warhammer meets GI Joe. It's from a Colombian company. Here we've got Atlanta Joe Bros 1/12 scale custom boats. So these kind of look like they're done on the Fortnite boat, kind of custom boats made on the Fortnite boat. I think they were available for purchase at the convention from what I've seen on sort of, you know, online. And then Ramen Toys were giving us some of their tanks. Now, obviously these look really good. They look quite big as well, don't they? Sort of seeing there, that's a tank with the two sort of Cobra troopers in it. So yeah, I mean, Ramen Toys are really spoiling us with the 1/12 scale vehicles, and there was quite a few on show at JoeFest. So yeah, that's good. We got to look at, yeah, again, the tanks with sort of all the markings on them, or the stickers, you know, kind of, yeah, that kind of thing. So here's the 80s commanders. This is the Sea Commander, Max Ray, I know he's called in the original line, and the Aces of Aviation. Now these are obviously loosely based on Top Gun characters. I mean, it'd be nice if we get some 1/12 scale fighter jets to go with those. And the way Ramen Toys are going with the vehicles, like looking here, for example, and the Ramen Racers, it's certainly a possibility at some point. I mean, who would have said that? You know, before we'd have probably not thought that, but it certainly seems like it now. So Ramen Toys had quite a stacked booth with vehicles. This is the bread car. Hopefully we get some 1/12 scale Bakers to go with them. Thanks for that Robo, stealing that little comment there. And the Ramen Racer, which obviously, yeah, is based on the Engine of Vengeance, a sort of third party one. And yeah, here's the Aces of Aviation. Like I say, it would be nice to get some 1/12 scale fighter jets. And certainly that might have seemed unrealistic before, but with the way Ramen Toys are knocking out tanks, and sort of 1/12 scale vehicles, it certainly seems like a good possibility. I think that will complete the look for this line of figures, you know, from Ramen Toys, some 1/12 scale jets. Ramen Toys also had their sort of He-Man third-party head sculpts. So yeah, this is some JoeFest content from Tac Tac Toys, action figure-based content. Let's get on into that action figure-based content a little further. Again, many thanks to Compulsive Collector Jon for all the footage he provided. So here we get a look at Fresh Monkey Fiction, Operation Monster Force. That's something called 13 Ghosts. This guy looks like a hitman from the video game, but it's obviously not. And here's the Wave 1 of Operation Monster Force. Now, these are available on Kapow Toys. I'll put a link in the comments below. These are further waves. I believe this might be Wave 3, which goes into a bit more sort of monsters, you know, gorillas, that kind of thing. I think they've worked with a third-party company on some of them. I know they have on the Veteran Williams type werewolf. We'll see a bit later on. So these are vampire soldiers. These are essentially the good guys. The story of Operation Monster Force is that a bad guy who's kind of a sorcerer awakes in modern times, an Egyptian sorcerer. These are some of his army. He creates an army of bad guys. The good guys, the military, have to create supernatural good guys to stop him. So they create Declan Van Helsing and Dracula team up to create an army of vampire good guys, and there's plenty more other characters. So again, this is one of the bad guy characters from the first wave. They look very sort of First World War aesthetic, these kind of bad guys and some of the characters in this. The characters do become a bit more modern looking as the waves go on. So I'm particularly excited for Wave 2, which has kind of zombie soldiers, both good guy and bad guy versions, essentially bad guy versions, but there are good guy versions as well. This is Dracula, as you can see here. He's actually one of the good guys in this line. I'm very excited for this line. As I say, it's going to be available on Kapow Toys here in the UK or Big Bad Toy Store if you're based in the US or Canada or anywhere like that. So that's the good guy. This is the bad guy. This is the Forgotten King. He's essentially like an Egyptian type sorcerer who's awoken in modern times. And yeah, Declan Van Helsing, who's a member of the Van Helsing family, and Dracula have to team up to stop him. They obviously had a diorama on show here at JoeFest. As I say, Jon Compulsive Collector got me some great footage of the diorama, which you'll see later in the video. So this is the sort of werewolf, army werewolf that's based on the Veteran William sculpt that'll be part of Fresh Monkey Fiction. These are the soldiers that I'm really excited for, the Phantom Corps. This is the commander, General Brown of Operation Monster Force. He comes with a few different head sculpts, so you can army build him. I'm presuming this is a bad guy character, unsure of who this is. But yeah, as I say, here's the diorama that had all the Operation Monster Force figures in it. And it looks really good. It looks really good. Like I say, I'm really excited for this line. I think it's quite a cool idea to kind of put monsters and military sort of aesthetics or ideas together or concepts. I think it works. It's really nice. It works well. It's kind of a niche thing. Yeah, okay, maybe it's not going to please everyone. If you're like a, you know, diehard military enthusiast, you can go for maybe Valaverse Action Force by comparison. But I really like the wacky military fantasy stuff. So again, we're getting sort of apes and things in future waves. Here you've got Men in Black next to General Brown, who are actually aliens. These I'm really excited for. The Veteran William type character and the Phantom Corps. This is some kind of mad scientist. Don't know if he's a good guy or bad guy. Like I say, Dracula's a good guy. These should be coming out on Kapow Toys sort of later in the year, the end of this year. Same with Big Bad Toy Store, I believe, or maybe the summer. This does look good. This could be my figure of 2025. I'm calling it now. This sort of army version of Veteran William. It does look very, very good. It's a possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. There could be, to be honest, there's so many good figures coming out. It could be a top 10 one, but you know, there'll be so much good stuff to look forward to. So as I say, General Brown looking a bit like Dylan from Predator there, Carl Weathers. But yeah, this is kind of like the commander who you can army build. This is some kind of Gridiron based character. Now Gridiron is the company that makes the weapons for Fresh Monkey Fiction Monster Force. So Commander Gridiron, there you go. So I think he might only be available on Gridiron's website, but I mean, they're knocking it out the park with this fantasy sort of military 1/12 scale line. They really are doing a good job. I'm very excited for these two. I'm hoping to army build some of the Phantom Corps there, or what they've called the sort of army guys. Yeah, let me know if you're excited by this line. If you're based in the US, if you've pre-ordered them from Big Bad Toy Store. If you're based in the UK, if you're sort of tempted to pre-order them on Kapow Toys, please do pre-order them on Kapow Toys if you're thinking about it, because obviously if the line's successful here in the UK, then we'll get more of them. So here's some footage from Jon, again Compulsive Collector. Really appreciate this on site, and like I say, they're available to pre-order now on Kapow Toys and Big Bad Toy Store. I'll put a link to that in the comments below. And sticking with Fresh Monkey Fiction, I know it's June, nearly July, but we've got to look at some of their naughty but nice figures, which are essentially Santa based. And then one of their future sort of lines, Voyager I think it's called, which is kind of like space based. Again, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash the like button. Feel free to comment and subscribe if you'd like to. And then moving over to Marauder, we've got to look at the Skeletron 6-inch figures. Now, I believe these are going to be coming out later in the summer. I have quite a few of these on pre-order, so a little group of these. So I'll definitely do a video when I get them. Again, these look really good. They've got a GI Joe classified style aesthetic. Again, the vehicle will be the Robo Skull, but yeah, I haven't gone for the vehicle. I've gone for a few of the figures. So excited to get these in hand and see what they're like. But as you can see, they're available to sort of see at JoeFest. So again, these look really good. Getting spoiled, really, aren't we? Getting spoiled with all these excellent sort of you know, independent companies. That's the best way of saying it. Independent companies making all these action figures. Really, really good. So yeah, this is the Mauraders pilot for the Robo Skull, which can fit 3.75-inch figures or 6-inch. Now this is a line called Zombified. Now I've seen this line sort of like debuting at JoeFest quite a lot for a couple of years. So they're obviously trying to get it made. It looks really fun. I guess it's like zombie astronauts or that kind of thing. Again, it does look like a really fun line, so I'd definitely be interested in picking this up. I'm sure it's probably going to be available at Big Bad Toy Store whenever it develops a bit further. Maybe Entertainment Earth as well. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it does look quite fun. Essentially, like I say, zombie astronauts. The only figure or character I've seen initially is this character in green, this sort of human character in green who's got a zombie face as well, but we'll have to keep an eye out for this one. So yeah, again, if you're enjoying this video, please do let me know any of your thoughts in the comments below. And then we go over to the footage. So this is the Super 7 booth. Many thanks again to Jon for filming all this. So here we get a look at the Super 7 booth, and then some merchandise relating to GI Joe, I guess. And here we got the Super 7 Ultimates from GI Joe, so on show there. And then I think we've got the O-rings sort of in the corner. You know, yeah, probably the GI Joe O-rings that's going to be the new line from Super 7. Here we get a better look at Operation Monster Force, the packaging. So they'll come in that sort of window packaging, a bit like NECA. They'll come in that window style packaging or case style packaging. Some Varuvian hacks, I think, from Big Boss Fight Studios. Sorry, that's it. Yeah, Court of the Dead, not sure what that is, but these kind of seem to be like independent company lines, so guess they're still in development. The great thing about these American Comic Cons or Toy Cons or anything like that, you get a look at so much good kind of stuff. Like I say, my highlight is Operation Monster Force. I'm very, very excited for them. And as you can see here, Jon has got me some sort of coverage of the diorama. So here's the bad guy, the Forgotten King, with his troops and a werewolf facing off against the good guys, who we'll see in a minute. We'll scan over to them and we'll see them. And yeah, it's Declan Van Helsing there firing the weapon, and Dracula coming out of the crypt with a few vampire soldiers to back him up. A really fun line, a really, really fun line. I'm excited for this. There's obviously a Crimson Moon line as well. That looks fun. And more stuff, you know, which has been revealed, but you know, we'll talk about that in a later video. So here we get a look at Mythic Legions. They were at, obviously, JoeFest, as you can see here. Again, looking quite good. Nice to see these sort of on the show. Some of these have been released. Some of these I'm presuming not released yet, I presume. I think these might be customs. They do look sort of like they could be customs. Yeah, so here's the kind of, is it Anubis? Figma Obscura or Figure Obscura they showed there recently. Again, more Mythic Legions on show. Some very nice looking stuff. And again, we go back to the Mauraders 6-inch figures. Now, like I say, I'm very excited for these as well. I'm excited to see what these are like in hand. I have backed the Kickstarter, so I'll be getting a few of these, probably like 4 or 5 of these figures. So again, I'll do a video once I get them. And here's the Robo Skull itself. Now this has got seating that you can change out, so you can put 3.75-inch figures in, or one 6-inch figure, I believe. And here's sort of an alternate version of the Robo Skull. Again, looking very good. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about any of that we've just seen from JoeFest. Are you based in the States? Have you been to JoeFest? And then we've got here, this is Savage Crucible. So a look at these kind of figures. I believe these started as a Kickstarter. So again, these are not obviously military, not modern military. This is more your kind of sword and sorcery type stuff, your Frank Frazetta type, you know, figures and that kind of thing. So I think these are, the wave 1 has been released, or I know a wave of these has been released as far as I'm aware. So apparently they're very, very good. So you can obviously, I guess, fudge these in with Mythic Legions, with, you know, Masterverse, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, so essentially any sort of sword and sorcery type figures that you may already have in your collection, these will go nicely with. Maybe your Mezco 112 Conan. There are actually some Frank Frazetta figures in 6-inch scale, 1 or 2 that have been made. I know that. They could go from another like company, or the sort of the Frank Frazetta family, something like that. These could go well with that. Excuse me. So they do look very, very good. They look, yeah, really nice. And I've heard very, very good things about them. The articulation is very good. I'm quite interested in the human characters. I don't think I'll be picking these up just because they don't quite fit with my collection, which is sort of fantasy military, both in modern sort of scale, well, in modern sort of sense. So yeah, these don't really go with that, but they're excellent looking figures. I have to say, anyone who collects Mythic Legions or Master of the Universe, Masterverse, or anything like that, you could fill your ranks out with these. So yeah, let me know if you got any Savage Crucible figures in the comments below. If you have, which ones you picked up. And Rambo's in with them for some reason. No, it's to do with the cloth goods he's wearing. Again, if you're enjoying this video, please let me know in the comments below. And then some action figure news, just in general. We got to look at Figma Solid Snake. I thought that'd be appropriate to go with JoeFest, so there you go. And then Ramen Toys are doing something called the Titanium Titans Kickstarter. A line of 1/12 scale figures with light up features, metallic parts, So definitely something interesting. In fact, they were on show at JoeFest. They sort of announced it yesterday, and these were sort of shown at JoeFest. So like I say, they got that feel of like 80s action figures, of having light up parts and kind of, you know, metallic parts, that kind of nice, what's the right word, novelty. So yeah, it's kind of a Kickstarter, so it's basically within the world of Silverhawks, or third-party Silverhawks, that these characters exist. So I think the third-party Silverhawks characters are also coming in this kind of Titanium Titans line, but I'm guessing a bit further down the line. Perhaps the funding of these characters will allow for that. And if you want some Marvel Legends news, you can of course check out Dan Who Reviews, Legends and Liquor, Turtles and Tea with Dan and Tanner, and Joe's and Juice with me, Dan our host, Tom Mini Plastic Multiverse, and myself, talking all the latest GI Joe classified news. So yeah, plenty of that to come in SDCC. Feel free to check out Miguel and the Wolfpack Toy Review for toy hunts in the California area. You can of course check out Jay's Toy Collection UK. Yeah, so feel free to check out his channel, and lots of good stuff on there, Lego based and otherwise. Of course, if you want some professional news, you can check out Robo Don't Know on his channel, where he does kind of professional roundup of news. Feel free to check out Justin Collects and all his sort of questions and answers about collecting, and all his sort of reviews. And of course, you can check out AC Toy Design, and he's got a Patreon as well. Feel free to check out Agent Z-Man as well. And like, if you want to check out all these YouTube channels, most of them will be in the comments below. If they're not in the comments below, please check some of my previous videos. Feel free to check out Cypher Sigma for action figure pickups and film reviews. You can of course check out my friend Elson for pop music covers of his own design, and also pop music covers and music of his own design. Feel free to check out Photo Dave and for toy photography, action figure toy photography tips and tricks. You can of course check out Big Will Pictures and Plastic for sort of wrestling based videos, quite fun wrestling based videos. So yeah, feel free to check out Why So Serious Toys. And who else can we check out from our YouTube sort of little family? Yeah, I've put Agent Z-Man in there twice, so yeah, if you want to go and check, if you were thinking about checking him out, there's a little subtle reminder to go and do so. For action figure reviews in Ireland, feel free to check out Brian's action figure reviews, and feel free to check out Trevor, the 1/6 shooter, for all things Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions and more. You can check out Happy Pursuits, a very fun and energetic YouTube channel, lots of reviews on there, so he's quite good. Feel free to check out Austin, the Hero Collectors. What else we got cooking? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, if you like film and TV, you can check out filmandtvreview.com, and the 3POA podcast, of course. So yeah, plenty of YouTube channels to check out there. Yo, Joe! Okay, so yeah, we're talking JoeFest, so I had to do that. And of course, there was a Cobra version of Sergeant Slaughter there, which is a custom at JoeFest. It looked quite fun. And of course, Blue Isle Collectibles have got the Cobra Stinger for the really reasonable price of $99.99 if you're based in the UK. They'll do international shipping, no doubt, at some point, but UK shipping only at the moment. But feel free to check them out, and I'll put my affiliate link for them in the comments below. You can of course check out Kapow Toys, as I mentioned them before. They are got Operation Monster Force on pre-order, so if you're based in the UK, you can get them there. Feel free to check out Comics and Cocktails, and you can of course check out the whole shebang. And like I say, links to all these UK independent retailers and international ones in the comments below. And talking of international, for all your Action Force needs, you can check out Valaverse.com. Now Valaverse.com, we're at the DFW GI Joe and Action Figure show, shown here, which is occurring at the same time as JoeFest. Today being Sunday at the time of this video, there will be some Action Force reveals. Whether or not they'll be shown online is a different story, because they may just be at the convention, but I guess we'll see later on. You can check out all the cool stuff. Feel free to check out Star Action Figures. And what else we've got cooking? Let's have a look. Ah yes, you can check out Gobsmack Comics, comic book shop, who's got an online store, and In Demand Toys. So yeah, I'll try and put links to all those in the comments below again, and of course Emporium McCool, who do all high-end goods like Mafex, Mezco 112, yeah, SH Figure Arts, really good service they provide as well. So yeah, back to JoeFest. Ramen Toys tank here on display, just one of their many tanks, as you can see here. I think it's being piloted by Breaker from GI Joe Classified. It does look like Breaker, I could be wrong. I think Ramen Toys are doing some pilots for some of these vehicles, in particular this tank, so this could well be one of their pilots. But it does look like a GI Joe Classified figure in there, and Breaker if I'm not mistaken. But again, I could be wrong, because yeah, maybe I am wrong actually. Anyway, that's my video. So here we get to see Fresh Monkey Fictions, Operation Monster Force again, with some Men in Black around General Brown. And of course the Gridiron Commander from Gridiron Studios. loads of good stuff to look at from Gridirons, from Operation Monster Force by looks of things. Here again is one of the Forgotten King bad guy troops. So this is a bad guy troop. Very First World War look in this Wave 1. But they do get more modern aesthetic as the waves go on. Wave 2 and so on and so forth. Nice looking diorama here that they've kind of established to sort of show off the figures. Again, great for your toy photography and all that kind of thing, or if you just want to build a diorama like this and pose your figures up in it, or have a little play with them. It's your collection, you do what you want. So that's the Forgotten King there. This is Declan Van Helsing and Dracula battling the Forgotten King. I can't wait for these, to be honest with you. I think they look absolutely fantastic. And then a Kickstarter called American Ninja, which is based on a comic. So again, this is going to have an action figure. And then we move over to Spero Toys, Animal Warriors The Kingdom. Now, I have got a video on Spero Toys on my channel. Feel free to check that out. Again, thank you, Jon, for this footage. Compulsive Collector. So these are upcoming waves of Spero Toys, Animal Warriors The Kingdom. Now, these figures are absolutely fire. I've got to say, if you've not picked them up, definitely get one in hand. They're so good. Honestly, I cannot praise them enough. This is like a gladiatorial wave of the characters. So, yeah, plenty to enjoy there from JoeFest. Well, I hope you enjoyed my footage of JoeFest. It was like being there, wasn't it? I mean, I obviously wasn't there. I'm based in the UK, as you can see here. But Jon, very helpful, helped me out from Compulsive Collector. By providing that footage, he obviously attended. It was like we were there. So that was really good. What's this? This is Cops. So remember that 90s cartoon Cops, where it looks like Operation Big Fresh Monkey Fiction are making some of those figures. Again, I guess we'll see those in 2025. But until then, just make sure you enjoy those flicks and figs, and I'll see you on the next one.